Hello, welcome to Code and Me. How are you all? Long time we are back again. As you know that Code and Me is a learning platform where you can learn in a different way. We always talk or we always wants to provide a new learning interface. So we are back with a new thing, that is Salesforce. We will provide a playlist for Salesforce, and in that playlist we will provide every small things about everything about Salesforce. And the basic interface will be about the coding approach, about the conceptual approach, what what a developer do, what a developer did, any mistakes done by or provided by any developer or admin part. We will talk again and again. You all know that about Salesforce is a leading company in CRM, in cloud, and nowadays a very famous Salesforce cloud business is there, and in that Apex language is working, and in that trigger is very famous. One of our team member is in Salesforce. He's working as a Salesforce developer in a company. He's also our team member. So he and she, they decided to provide a new learning approach in Salesforce. And in this topic, in this series, the first thing I will discuss is a trigger. Learn trigger in a simple way. In this trigger, those who know about trigger, I will tell you about that I will not provide a very vast or advanced type of trigger here. I will just simply put the trigger in a simple way, a simple approach. I will provide it. So there will nothing like that it is a simple, it is a max, something like that. And you can see here in a tagline I have a say for field updation. So I will simply update the fields, and I will also relate a related object here. So let's begin. As you know that this is a Salesforce Classic view, you can say that. And in this Classic view, lead accounts is there. So suppose this is an account, and in that account I have a record, this is a record Rajesh LMTM, like that. Suppose this is an account, and I want something like that suppose this type is prospect, customer, and pending. Suppose this type is prospect, then industry should be something chemicals. Or I want to that suppose this is also a type. So if this is prospecting, it will be active, I want. And if this is pending, then it will be inactive, like that. So if I want that, for that purpose trigger is used. And how it will go through the things, I will tell you about that. And in this object I will tell you about that. So suppose this type of things how can be done. Trigger, always the trigger word is what? Trigger is always a function, or you can say a function, or an action. After an action we want to do something, that is trigger. After an action, after an update, after an insert, after a delete, after anything, if you want to do something, that is trigger. So for that purpose Salesforce provide a new interface. You can say it is a developer console. You can print it developer console. In developer console we write some code, and it is more like a visible for your new user, we can say that. So in which we will use everything like that. So for that it is a trigger, and trigger has something like that. Trigger is just like that, in that we name that things trigger, and the trigger name on which object we want to create, and that object is this ALMT is an account. So this the object is an account or contact. After what action we want to do something. So after or before, after delete, after insert, after and delete, after update, before delete, before update, as like that we want to do something. Then before delete if we want to do something, before insert we want to do something. So that is how it works. and in that, and then it will close, and in that thing we want to do that. So I will tell you one thing, that is a trigger, you can say, and this is the trigger name. So I want to update type for this object, that is account. So for this object, for which object? So I want to do that for account. So as you all know that about that is a field, that is an object, and the object name is, you can see here, the object name is account. You can see here that is a standard object, as you know all that is account. Okay, sorry for that. Account is an object, this is account. In that account there is a field. So the first field is type. Okay, this is the type, and the second I have created it, that is again a type. This is a different type, name is same but the value is different. Here the type value is prospecting, customer, pending, and all that, and here the field name is, type name is this, like that. Okay, so you can see it here, and that is an object. So that's how it's work. So this is trigger update type on account before insert and before update. Suppose this is there. So how I will write this, how I will find this, that it is before insert or before update, I will tell you about it later in that new approach, in that new thing. So that, because I want what I want, if I am doing something, if I'm updating something, if I'm doing something, what I'm doing, if type is prospect, customer, or pending. Okay, if type is this, in this, so I have to update this field according to some condition. This means at the time of when I will save it, at the time of saving, this type will also save that active or inactive. Okay, so for that, this means this will work before update, at the time of update. Or if I want to create a new, like that, if I want to create a new account, at that time also I will want that this type is prospect. So I don't remember the what of the type is, so I will remember this, and at the time of creation, what I will want that, okay, this should be saved, and this value should be like, okay, this value should be active. I have not updated it, it will create that. So before insertion I will use it, before insertion. So that was in the trigger has a phrase of two type, trigger.new and trigger.old. In the trigger.new, what I have did, if I will save it, the whole value of account owner, rating, tax, website, account type, industry, everything, the value of every field will be in trigger.new, and at the trigger.old, the old value of everything. So trigger.old will not work here because I am creating the record, but before that, you can say that the previous one, that ALMTM, then this ALMTM, before editing anything, this value is in trigger.old, and after the edit I will click the edit. Now I will give any value, this will in trigger.new. So the value now, after the save, I will click the save button, trigger.new will hold every value, and before that this value is in trigger.old. So we will use trigger.new. So suppose I will use for loop for that account, AC trigger.new, sorry, account AC trigger.new,
sorry, this is the for loop. Then come to the C routine. But I want if AC dot type AC dot type is what is it? If AC dot type is prospect, PROSPECT, prospect. If AC dot type is prospect, then AC dot type should be active. Else AC dot type should be inactive. So after the save button, this trigger will call, this trigger will execute it, and that trigger will check the type of that value, that is that type, and if it is of prospect, the type is prospect, then this will update the AC to type active and then it's inactive, and then it will save, because I have used before insert and before update. So that's how it will work. Let's check. I have given suppose prospect and then save. Voila, you can see it is active. If I will check, if I will give it, sorry for that, if I will give it pending, it will should be in active position. Here it is pending and this is inactive. So that's how it will work. It will update, just update the value like that. If I will give it none, it will also will be the inactive, because it was inactive, now it is inactive. It's not a problem. So that's how it will work. So if we want to update any field, if we want to do that, if the account number is this, so fact should be this, if the phone number is this, the name should be this. If I want to check anything, if I want to update the shipping address, if I want to use this number of location, if I want to update any field, I will just use this. I will check if any condition is there, or I will just do one thing in the trigger.new. Maybe at the time of creation, suppose 5 persons is doing the same thing, so I will use this for loop, and in the trigger.new, every record that is inserted or updated is there. So I will call it one by one. So I am using for loop. So in the trigger.new, there is a list of account. Maybe there may be a little list of account, or there may be only one account, and that is stored in AC, and I can use it AC. I can use AC as an account, and I can call any field like that. And developer console is very helpful, because you can use that AC dot. Now it will give you everything. Okay, so you can see that it will give you, okay, sorry, it is always give you something, and there's not a problem, so it's not working. So it will give you every value like that dot type C. You can see, as you have seen already about that. So that's how it will work. That is how you can say that that's how that before insert and before update will work. So now you can see that in that trigger update type, this is the name, this is the object name. I want to use this before insert, before update. Anything you want to do, you can do it now. So that's how it will work for every object, and I will tell you more about this before, after, delete, how it will work, when it will work, how it will call everything, every value. We can say that about that. Okay, now I want to do one thing. I want to use a very simple thing in that.
Suppose this trigger will also use for any error. You can say that this trigger will also use for any error. Suppose this is active, suppose this is active, and now you want to check also a field is there, that is, I can say active. This is active, a field is there, this is, so this should be yes, this should be yes. So if you want to check before the save that it should be yes, so what I will do, we can check it here, because I can check it if ac dot type, yeah, you can see that here, ac dot type c, please see carefully here. If ac dot type c is active, this means that field should be, this means that should and ac dot active, a field is there, should be yes, is equal to no. If that field is no, then we will add an error that can be used as trigger dot add sorry for that, we will add an error ac dot active c dot add error, sorry for that. So you can see that what I will use AC, and that is active, that is add error, and then I will use add error, and then next should be yes, like that. Okay, else if and everything, now anything is there, I will use this. You can see there what I have done. So let's run it, then I will tell you how it will work. Okay, this after the saving, control s, now I will use this. So this is already, nothing is there, we will update this, that is, suppose this is type is prospecting, so then I will save it. It will give me an error, active field should be yes. So if I will use this yes, then save, now it is going to save, no problem at all. So what I have learned, that we can use to filter, or we can use to give an error, we can use this trigger to give an error also. So suppose you know that for prospect type will be active, so if the type is active, it should be yes, active should be yes. If the type is not active, then it should be no. How it will, we will check, we will just check that if the type is active and this active ac.active c, that field is not equal to yes, if and as operator is here. So if it is type is active and active is not yes, then it is an error, it should be yes, it is not yes, it should be yes but it is not yes, so we will give an error. And how we will use an is it an error, that ac this means the count, and the field name is active because this is giving me the error, and that add error, the message is there, active field should be yes. If it is inactive and it is not no, then again there will be an error, that will check. So suppose that is in, if I will give, suppose
if I will update it like pending, and then if I want to save it, what we will do, if field should be. So that's how it will work. So you can use a trigger to update the field. A simple way, you can use a trigger to give an error also. So if I will use this none, no, or none, no, then it will say no problem. Okay, so you can use it for that also. So that's how you can say it will work. That's how it will that trigger will work. So that's a very simple approach to update any field of any that object if you want to update, create anything like that. Okay, so that was the first part, and in the second part I will tell you about the related objects. And for the related object we will need a list also, we will need a set also. So I will tell you about that also in the next. Okay, if you want to know more about that, please comment to us. I will tell you, we will provide you the details, the test about that. So in the next video I will tell you more about the trigger for a related object, and for after that I will tell you also about the test class. So please bear with us. Thank you for watching. You can also like and subscribe our channel. You can follow us at Facebook as a Code.me. You can also follow us as a LinkedIn, on a Google Plus also. You can visit our site, that is coderinme.com, that is coderinme.com. This is again Saf from Code.me. Please like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.